Hello! Welcome to the first episode of RoTalk. Let's bring on my guest for the first episode, SoftyGB.
Whoa, that's actually insane.
Hello, Softy.
Good.
So, would you like to start off? Maybe introduce yourself a bit?
So I'm Softy. I'm a GFX artist on the Roblox platform. I've been doing it for the past 6 years. I'm 18 years old.
How did you get into GFX?
I would say I just liked art in general, like when I was young, so that was one of the reasons why I started GFX, and I just liked bringing ideas to life. And so I joined the Twitter platform, and I looked at many GFX artists that used to do it back then, back in 2017, I think, yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, and then that's how I learned GFX. I just looked at their artworks and I practiced and started doing free commissions for others. And then slowly but surely, here we are. I started doing commissions for like big games on the platform.
So, you've been doing it for around 6 years, I believe, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And how does it feel to have your work recognized by Roblox and being able to, do that kind of stuff now?
It's honestly quite insane. I never imagined that Roblox would ever recognize me or my work. So when I got recognized, it was amazing. Like there's no words to explain it. Like I'm quite honored.
How exactly do you find your inspirations for your creations?
Yeah, so I get it from many GFX artists on the platform as they create, and I look at their artworks and take inspiration. I think back then it was Crack Hop, Maple Stick, all these creators that used to do GFX. They no longer do it, but nowadays I look at Breakspree or Hashi is it? I think his name was called Hashi. Yes, Hashi, and many others on the platform right now. So, yeah, I try to look up to many others for inspiration.
That's actually really cool. Brixme made the GFX up on the screen right here.
Oh wow, that's great. No, I actually see it in the game too. That's amazing.
How long do you think each GFX roughly takes? Does it depend on your projects and stuff?
Yeah, it really depends on the projects. Some do take a few days, some take a few hours. It really depends on when the client replies to my messages when I ask them for feedback. Generally, say it was a personal artwork, it would take about 8 hours, if anything 10 hours, around there, to make it fully look correct.
I've been asked this question quite a lot, and people want me to ask you this. What do you think about the current state of GFX?
Difficult one to answer. It's good. It's not as good as it used to be. Like back then when I5K was around, and many other GFX artists that now no longer do GFX. But it's decent. I wouldn't say it's completely bad, but it can be improved. How we could improve it is having more GFX artists join the platform and inspire other GFX artists and help as many as we can, and then they can also help and improve the community, so we all do it together.
Do you think that AI has maybe affected it? Or, because at the time of filming this, AI's just come out about a week ago, and Twitter's going a bit crazy.
Yeah, I've commented on this, and AI is kind of in a. I wouldn't say it's gonna be bad for us GFX artists right now, but in the future, I just hope it doesn't get any worse. In terms of taking other people's careers. It's right now is quite insane. The way that it does the lighting and the renders, the posing, the fingers are not correct. They don't look right, but there are many things that are good in those icons. And I think us GFX artists should actually take some inspiration from it. And I think it's like cool now, and it's pretty good for inspirations, you know, and for us GFX artists, and good for client references to give to other GFX artists to, you know, do their commission. But otherwise, I just don't think it's good for us GFX artists now and in the future. I just hope it doesn't get better.
So personally, I do scripting, building, modeling, all of the above, right? So from my perspective, I've seen AI come to scripting, and it's not really done that well. Basically, a bit ago, Roblox added a AI scripting tool, and it didn't really go off that well. It wasn't really used. Do you think AI could like affect other talents?
I don't think right now, but in the future, yeah, it's gonna take over any other career. I can see that for sure. Like in the next 5 years, like 3 or 5 years, I could see it like, you know, taking over some careers like us GFX artists on the platform and many other careers. But you know, it's we can't control it. It's inevitable.
I completely agree with you on this,
Yeah.
personally. And I feel like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think AI will ever fully take over, because at the end of the day, it hasn't got enough. How do you phrase it? It's not human enough. It will never be up to what the person
It
exactly
doesn't.
wants.
Yeah. You're completely correct. It doesn't have the human touch. It doesn't have the correct things that, you know, only humans can adjust or do.
Okay, so I've been speaking to a few
Oh.
smaller GFX artists, and they've
Yep.
been asking for your tips to improve their GFX. So on the screen back here, I'm gonna actually pull
Yep.
up the first ever GFX I made 2 years ago. If you just
Alright,
want to take a look
correct.
behind you.
Let's see.
Oh, it's so good. You're not even ready.
I'm excited. Wow, that looks great.
Thank you.
Do you want me to give you tips on how to improve it?
Yes, please.
Alright, first thing is the lighting. Um, yeah, you should add some lighting. You should add some sort of HDRI that, you know, has a blue sky or something. You know, some sort of HDRI that is daylight. That will add some, you know, that will be the first fix. It will be the lighting. The next is the posing. You should use rigs. I think you're using an R15 rig right there. Is that correct?
Basically, it was 2 years ago. So I think I was 11 at the time. I just took
Yeah.
I took my avatar rig and I posed it in Studio, exported it as an FBX and brought it into Blender, and yeah, that's just it.
Okay, I see. Yeah, you should be using a rig for the posing, so it makes it easier for you to pose. You can easily adjust the character's positioning and everything, their fingers and stuff. You could use star rigs for that. Oh, promo, but yeah.
Starter rigs. I love that. I love that rig. That's my favorite rig.
Who is it made by? I wonder who is it made by. Shout out Peribez. Render wise, yeah, that's all I have for you. It's the lighting and the posing, and maybe yeah, the camera position too, the composition. Maybe work on that tiny bit. Maybe zoom it out. Yeah, that's all I have for that. That
Thank
looks
you.
great though. Well done.
Oh, the GFX are gonna be. Oh, they're gonna be so good from now on. Actually, there's some questions from a community that they want to ask you some stuff. So how do you? This is coming from someone on Twitter. How do you think you can pick up your GFX career?
I would say start posting regularly on Twitter, and post your commission sheet. Pin it, so make sure every client that, you know, looks at your profile sees that first. And yeah, just start posting regularly, like as much as you can, not more than you can. Sorry, as much as you can, but not more than you can. don't try to burn yourself out or anything, but just make sure you post as much as you can, and make fan arts for big games on the platform like Blocks Fruits, Brookhaven,
Lucid,
Bloxburg, and any other like big games on the platform. And try to get your work out there. Maybe some big developers make some fan arts. That's what I used to do. I used to make fan arts for developers, and other games such as MM2, Assassin, and that's how I took my career off the ground. Yeah, that's the best way.
Personally, I'm not as big as you, of course, but I feel like the same applies for all the other talents as well. Wait, what happened? Wait, who was that? Someone joined the game and messed up the screen. Oh, oh.
Uh-oh.
No, sorry.
Oh, was that John Doe?
Oh, no, actually, it's my
John
friend.
Doe
He didn't realize
watch.
what he was doing. Okay, so as I was saying, I think the same applies for a bunch of other talents. So, yeah. Let's see what else people are asking. What do you think? What's the process of making a GFX? So the best way to pose a character, the best way to choose angles, do lightings, etc.
Alright, so the best way to choose lighting, the best way to do the lighting, sorry, my bad. Yeah, use an HDRI, that's first. But also practice your own way of lighting. Like do manual lighting. Use area lamps on Blender or whatever program you use for renders. Try to practice your own way of lighting. There's like some it's a little more complex, but try to practice lighting as much as you can. Make it look as natural as possible, but also look at other tutorials on YouTube. Those will help in a big way. That's how I started off. I watched many tutorials, and that's how I got better and better. And I still struggle on lighting. Don't get me wrong. I sometimes can't do it well, despite me having so much experience. It's just still a little bit difficult. So I would say it's best to practice your lighting right now, rather than later. Then for angles, honestly, that one's kind of preference. You should do whatever fits your scene or whatever you're doing. Sometimes clients do tell you like which angle is best to do. Whatever they prefer, but generally in personal artworks, try to play around, move the camera around, see what fits. Maybe follow some composition guides. It's a little more complex. You should, yeah, search a YouTube tutorial on that. Composition is pretty important. So, yeah, it's as important as lighting. Posing characters, use rigs. That would be the first thing. And then pose it whatever you feel looks best, but use a rig. That's one of the most important.
Okay, moving on to the next question. This one was really emphasized by my friend. He really wants to know your opinion on this one. Do you feel like Roblox doesn't recognize and shout out artists anymore?
Complicated one to answer. I would say yeah. Honestly, in some way it doesn't, but I feel like it Roblox just it focuses on developers, game developers, rather than other artists on the platform. Because it's mostly a game platform. It's specifically meant for games, and that's why it focuses more on game developers rather than GFX artists and digital artists and any other artists on the platform. But sometimes it actually does recognize, and but it's pretty rare. And I wish we could see more of that being common. More artists being recognized and shouted out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. I think they're pushing more like realistic stylized kind of stuff.
Yeah, correct.
Because like at the end of the day, I personally think they're like a game engine and they want to promote their stuff. So even though that
Yeah.
you guys, like for example, you are 100 times better than the GFX artists we have at Roblox, I think they'll personally push like more stylized builds, which I can understand, but I feel like GFX artists should get a bit more recognition.
Yes, you're 100% correct. I agree with you.
And as we're making our way to the end, we've got the last few questions. What would you recommend to starters who want to start up their GFX career?
Like as in like assets and packs or anything.
Just anything in general.
All right, so use the Roblox starter rigs or any other rigs that you prefer on your program, whatever program you use. Packs, maybe use some GFX packs. Those are like Photoshop packs, like they have a lot of effects that you can use in your renders. Honestly, nothing much. Maybe use some Blender add-ons or any other add-ons you have on your program. You know, like grass. You know those kind of add-ons that give you those models. That's what I use. I use a few of those. I use some add-ons, to help me create better renders. Like that have assets in them. So like anything sorry, I'm a little stuttering right now. But yeah, anything that works for you. Just use GFX packs and rigs, and any other thing that you find specifically for your platform.
Moving on to the final question. What advice would you give to starters who want to sell their work?
Just as I mentioned before, like do a commission sheet. That's one of the most important. Join GFX servers on Discord, and promote your work anywhere you could. Make sure you have your commission sheet pinned, and that's the first thing your clients see. Nothing else, honestly, but just promote your work as much as you could on Discord servers and Twitter. Yeah, and post as much as you can. Yeah, that's what I could give you as an advice for now.
Yeah, thank you for this, Softy. I really appreciate it, and you've definitely helped out a lot
Yeah,
of people.
of course. Happy to be here. This is great. So much for having me.
Bye-bye.
Anytime.
Wanna jump in the hole?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's go.
This is
Bah.
great. So well made.